What up, party people? It's your man Hakim Green. I got Uncle Wes in the building. What
What's
up,
going
Uncle?
on?
Episode 97 in effect. Happy Valentine's Day out there, all lovebirds. Thank you, Uncle. Got my wife here. Woo, boy, oh boy. Man, the Super Bowl was off the chain, bro.
Yeah, it was, man. It was a good game. Probably one of the better games I've seen played in a long time. Because usually, you get one team, somebody looks shook, and the other team dominates. But I ain't seen and I was too young to really appreciate when Bradshaw and Staubach went at it in the shootout back in the day. But this one was probably in that aura.
Yeah. They wasn't lighting up. The quarterbacks wasn't lighting it up with the passing attack. Neither side.
Jalen Hurts did have 300.
Oh yeah, he did have 300. That's right. He did have 300.
He had 300. He had 300.
But he had a couple long bombs.
Yeah, he hit two deep ones.
Two deep ones.
And then he had he threw a couple of dimes to Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
And he threw a couple of he had a couple of really impressive passes.
His passer rating was like 103 for the game.
Yeah, he played a damn good game. I mean, he had to fumble, but he played a damn good game.
Damn good game. Very impressive from the young man. They said his passer rating was 103. Mahomes' passer rating was like 130.
Yeah, he only and he had he didn't really get no yards this time. He just was accurate as hell.
Yeah, it was $186 in the air for him.
Yep.
But it's like when you play mistake-free football and you know how to execute when it counts.
Man, that dude right there is he's just the real deal in so many ways, man. It's like yo, he's just that dude. There's no comparison in the league like him. There's nobody in the league like him now at all. Not one player. And he's in a class by himself. Literally right now. I mean,
I agree. Like he's not even, the Burrows. You know what? Let's say this conversation for when we come back. We got to do what we do. So people in the building, let them know what we got going on. We throw up this joint, real hip hop for the people, and we gonna rock out.
Yes, sir.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell, so you know when we do what we do. And this is real hip hop.
24 hours of peace, love, unity, safely having fun. Real hip hop for the people. It's an engagement. It's a demonstration. Using hip hop culture to get you activated. Let the people hear the bass and the vibration, the love, peace, unity, and watch them add on. It's a culture. It's not just rapping. It's not what we do. It's how we do it. We're doing it right here, Springfield Avenue, between Bergen and Plum. 24 hours straight, man. It's crazy.
Shit. We the people. The people of the culture.
Yeah, Ron Lawrence.
Fire. The hip hop culture.
Yo, we love rap.
Yes,
love
we
it. Yeah, we do. But it's really about the culture.
Yeah, let them know how.
The culture.
Yeah. What up, man?
You know a hard head makes a soft behind. If I only knew my schoolwork like I knew them rhymes. Mom upside my head, I'm trying to memorize every line. High power rap breaks, super rhymes. Deep into the culture, didn't even know it. Young entrepreneurs spitting bars like a poet in a rush to be mature behind bars when we blow it. In the bold ass rappers too immature to outgrow it. It was more than just music, something next to breathing. I get giddy like a baby trying to spit while I'm feeding. The mic I be squeezing, dropping facts like I'm teaching, leaking flows for the perfect beat seeking. Mama used to say, take your time, young man. But I'm trying to feel a light so you can see it when I tan. I'm like one that never ran, I'm a fan but never stand. Just take a black way to the east, Xing out the clan.
Holy is a great having omnipresence. We are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Holy is a great having
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Pueblo Unido, grassroots Steve Biko. Rule number one, never forget the people. I live that, I give back. Heart all in it, no gimmicks, straight facts. From the start, I'm the light from the dark. Born from black art, knew my part. Daddy gave me, mama made me. North raised me, hip hop saved me. For the culture now, for the black and brown. Harriet Underground, sun up to sundown. Till my people get out, north to down south, spread like word of mouth. While you cowards is hooded, we battle the bullet. Black lives to the fullest. Out here to the end, stronger together. That's the day we win.
Holy integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Holy integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
Yeah. But no one stopped to think about the people.
The legends before me are ones I want to get it like, but hitting quick hit different when hitting right. Mob ties, this thing of ours is birthrights. Who's next for the culture and them searchlights? Do it to it, this music, I'm trying to talk through it. Every plan on my own, I watch the line do it. Airborne to ski like a Wendell Pruitt. Trumpets blow, this song's here, melodic ruins. Think for it before they have to think for 'em. Boom bap, I talk that and live enormous. Informants when present in your boy performing, especially when them drums snap by Brian Lawrence. Doing all that poet talk of the line crosser. Mini hawk and I speed by and flying saucers. Make it worth it, I can't take no people offers. Signed, sealed, and delivered, and you know the offer.
Holy integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Holy integrated, having omnipresent, we are. Yeah, the people.
Yeah, man. That's real hip hop for the people, ladies and gentlemen, by your boy Hakim Green, produced by Ron Lawrence, featuring Do It All Kelly, Amiri Baraka Jr., the lovely G Simone. And yeah, man, it's what it's about. Real hip hop for the people. Yo, so I was in New Jersey this past weekend, Wes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so cold, bro. Like between October and April, I really need to stay below Atlanta because man, like my shoulder, my back, my back, my traps, my lats were like just like out of control, on fire the whole time. I had to basically lay on my back. I couldn't sit, couldn't stand. Shit was crazy, yo. Man.
Yeah, I was there the week before when it was 4 degrees on a Friday night.
Oh Lord, have mercy. I couldn't.
So, and I'm in the same like you. I mean, you got a little bit better weather than me normally all year round.
Yeah.
So I get 75 in February like it ain't no issue.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Lord have mercy.
But not in New York.
Yeah, man. So this past Super Bowl, we were saying,
Yep.
like amazing game, a great game. It was appropriate because those were the two best teams all season.
Yep.
The Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, and their stat line were like identical going into this game.
Yep.
Same wins, same amount of points scored. Like,
yep.
It's incredible. Both got Kelsey brothers on the team.
Yep. Yeah, it was bugged out.
Yeah, it's bugged out, and there was a lot of prognostication going out that had the Eagles as the winners. I think they were favorite going in.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, and then I see, folks, doing their tarot readings and their numerology and their astrology and the conspiracy theories, and everybody had the Eagles winning, but they had to catch that L. But it was a phenomenal game, like we were saying earlier. Jalen Hurts did his thing. That one mistake, that one fumble pretty much sealed the deal for them. There was some other, questionable plays that happened. I don't know what your thoughts are. One was
the call.
Well, there's the pass interference call late.
The holding call they called, right?
Exactly, holding.
Yeah.
Call, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was also that non-catch on the sideline that was brought back. Said no, it wasn't a catch.
What catch was that on?
It was it outside? Was it Smith on the out? Let me.
Because I know they reviewed one that they gave him the catch.
Well, they gave him the catch. Oh shit, I'm bugging. So I
Yeah,
watched.
they gave him the catch.
I watched the game from the airport. I couldn't. I thought that was.
Yeah, they gave it to him.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The catch. I sound bugged out right now. I sound crazy.
Yep. They gave him the catch. But they the whole game was bananas. The way it was played, the way it was coached. Big up to Andy Reid, and for not giving up on the run. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that my man Pacheco, RU graduate.
Oh yeah, he had a great day.
had a big day, but I think overall, even Eagles, they didn't like with the call at the end, the holding, he did it, right? Yeah. And I think what people got to get over, and a lot of times, I'm putting my referee hat on, people worry about when a call is made versus the call itself, right? Yeah. And so, but that's the name of the game that's why you're there, right? To make those calls. So whether you commit the call in 1 second into the game or with 1 second left, if it is, it is. Because the same effect, it can have the same effect. You just don't look at it that way. Because I feel like they had a play in the second series where Butker missed the field goal, but on the 3rd and 9 play, Juju Schuster got held, and they didn't call it. And for me, that would have been an automatic first down. They get a little closer. I'm not saying they score a touchdown, but they get closer, and maybe they kick a field goal, and he doesn't miss it, right?
Right.
So, and that wasn't a call. So at the end, and you got the player saying, "Hey, I held him. He steered him." So it was unfortunate, but it was a time and play. And Mahomes don't miss by that much.
No.
so it was unfortunate. That's what I would say about the call. It was unfortunate that it happened, but you got to call it because it was a call. That's it. So
if you see my face twist up every now and then, that's my back.
Woo. Yeah.
Yeah, New York did me, bro. Like, not to change subjects, but this thing just hit me in a way.
Yeah.
So I get off the plane in LaGuardia, take the shuttle to the train, staying downtown.
Yeah.
Hop on the train, take it down to the Wall Street district, walk over to the hotel a few blocks away.
Yep.
Somebody hit me with a sledgehammer in my shoulder.
That's what it feel like?
That's what it felt like that day. Like,
okay,
getting from point A to the hotel.
Yeah.
Like somebody hit me in the back with in my shoulder with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, that's a.
So that night, I was Wednesday. That night, I stretched really good, take a hot shower, get loose, wake up the next day. I'm fine, no problems. Go walk, get some shaving cream. By the time I get back, it felt like somebody jumped me and mud stomped me in my back.
Jeez.
My both sides of my back, my lats are just like squeezing real hard. Like I'll rock in a position and it'll trigger something and my lats will just squeeze. And it's like I gotta wait till they relax themselves. Take a breath. Bad. So, it was like that from Thursday afternoon until I'm still going through it. Went to Cairo rehab today. That was a big help. But I'm still going through it. So if you see my face twist up,
that's it. I got you. No, I understand.
It's great.
I understand, my brother.
Crazy. Yeah, man. So we were talking about the two quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts had a phenomenal game. He made the one mistake, and when you're playing against someone like Pat Mahomes, you really can't afford to make mistakes. Not one.
No, you can't make one.
No, you can't. You can't make one. Pat Mahomes is in the league of his own. We both agree that.
Yep.
I've been hearing some conversation about, the pecking order after Mahomes. And it's crazy because it's like jokers, they still say Burrow. They still say Josh Allen is better than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're saying Herbert is better. I'm like, wait, they're saying Trevor Lawrence is better than Like, what are these people talking about, yo?
Yeah. That's what they do, man. That's what they do.
Watch this man for the last 3 years steadily just get better and better and better. And he got his team to the Super Bowl and was 3 points from winning, or 4 points from winning the Super Bowl. And you got jokers who didn't even get out the second round.
Yeah.
Ahead of him.
Yeah. That's what they do. That's what they do. They elevate themselves. Because we just doing is not real enough.
I'm hearing cats like Broussard say this. I'm like, come on, Broussard.
Well, that's what. Well, I'm not. You know what? I don't want to be like them, so I won't say what I think about cats like that. But I'll just leave it at that. I'm gonna try to tone down my angst towards the brother man who always got to support the other man. But I'm gonna leave it at that. That's a nice way of putting it, because that's what they do. That's what they get paid to do. He makes a salary to do exactly that. So, God bless him. Hope it's worth enough. But I hope his boys at the barbershop give him hell when he goes to get his haircut, because
it's like
that's the only true on TV.
It's called show and prove. It's called show and prove.
Well, that's what we have to do. We got to prove it, right? They just gotta be around it, and it's all good. But like I said, the messed up part is that you got cats like Broussard, and even sometimes your other boy, the A, the Stephen A.
Oh, that ain't my boy. That joke.
No. Shannon gets paid too, but Shannon is probably the closest we're gonna get to some type of
holding the line.
Yeah, he gonna hold. He on the tug of war like this. I got it as tight as I can go, boss. I can't go no further, boss. Then he gonna let it go. That's what Shannon does. But I get it, because it's their livelihood. They gotta feed families.
Because everybody's not like that.
But a lot of those mainstream guys, unfortunately, most of the people that talk on the pods. You got to go to the pods and get the real people. You're not gonna get them on national TV.
Hey man, the two best quarterbacks in the league right now is Pat Mahomes. As far as I'm concerned, Jalen Hurts. If you want to sneak Burrow in there, I hear you. Everybody else is a distant fourth, third, and like fourth and fifth, like distant. Hey,
Jalen Hurts has put himself in a new category for sure.
Yeah, right. And so speaking of that, is he gonna get this money? They're gonna franchise him. What she thinks is gonna happen?
They're gonna franchise. They're gonna tag him.
They're gonna tag him, right?
Yeah, they're gonna tag him. That's what they do. They gonna, for him, he gonna get tagged. Yeah. But the thing about it, tag is not the worst thing in the world, because he's gonna get the crazy annual. He's gonna get like $52 million for a year.
Right.
So it's not the worst thing at this stage.
Yeah, but security is something else.
Yeah. I mean, Eagles could easily extend him right now, say 3 years, and give him 125 million, and they'd be looking good. Because that's 40-something million a year. They could do that.
I was seeing like 50-60 million.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is they could easily, being that he's a second round pick, because I've heard all the arguments and conversations.
That's that bullshit too, by the way.
That's what they do, man. This is how they justify it.
That's that bullshit, because when the other man is the Cinderella, when the other man, it make it a story.
They pay him.
You don't think Brock Purdy gonna get paid when it's his time?
Brock Purdy was gonna get paid next year. Trust me.
Yeah.
Next year. He was gonna get a check next year.
Yeah.
That's how it was going down.
And
Brock Purdy was gonna get a paycheck.
Don't deserve to get paid. That's how we saying.
Yeah, we think he should get paid, but it was gonna go down next year.
Right.
There was gonna be no hesitation. Let's put it that way. No waiting game.
I'm hearing, the Philadelphia Eagles ain't gonna be able to pay nobody. He should take a pay cut just cause.
Well, isn't that what the people say, right? If you want to be able to field a team that wins, you got to take a certain amount of money.
I mean, yeah, but I figure we went to the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, he went. He went already.
What's the Super Bowl, bro? I mean, come on,
But they want to kind of keep it together, right?
I put up 35 points.
They want to, but hey, he didn't win, right? He got a number. He got a phone number. He want to get back. How do you get back? By him getting paid, do you get back?
I don't know.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean,
because you got to keep the team together, right?
I know.
You do have to keep the team together, right?
I do think, like, I'm all for, having a quality team, having a support system. Make sure you fill all the gaps. Make sure you got a run game. You got an offensive line. You don't want to sacrifice all your pieces just to pay one guy. Now, I get all that, right? And I think you should take all that into consideration. However, we just went to the Super Bowl.
But again, winning, Joe Burrow just went to the Super Bowl. So even when we elevate him over Joe Burrow, who's getting an extension, by the way, this year. But my point is,
who had a raggedy ass line,
he went though. You know what I'm saying?
Game, and they're gonna kick him off.
They're gonna kick him off, right? But my point is, I guess he went as well, and he's gonna get paid. Yeah, he's right. Daniel Jones is going to get Demetrius is right. Daniel Jones is going to get his money, and that's stupid that he gets $40 million because he's not. Jalen need to get at least 50 if Jalen Jones getting 40.
Daniel Jones had like a 5-game run.
Yeah. He did
of average football, mind you.
Listen, he had a 5-game run after 5 seasons of getting run.
Right.
Like. Can we say that? Like, he had 5 years to get to that point.
Oh, and what was sickening to me today? It was sickening. Daniel Jones has been quarterback in the Giants for how long? 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Been raggedy up until like 3 weeks.
This year.
Yeah, been like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Raggedy as hell.
Just raggedy as hell.
Yeah.
He's gonna be caked off. Bro, I heard a conversation today about the Bears need to consider drafting to replace Justin Fields.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm like, yo, he's got no chance. Like, he had no offensive line, no running game, no team, no defense, no nothing.
He got nothing.
He's never been given a solid chance.
And they want to replace him already. That's what I'm saying. You get one shot and you done. These cats get 5 years and then they still talk about, well, he's showing you why the Giants may consider keeping him. You could see it was always bottled up in there, and Brian Daboll got the best out of him. Okay, 5 years. But you talk about a 1-year quarterback that had nothing, no running back, no wide receiver, barely a tight end, no offensive line, and you want to get rid of him after 1 year.
Justin Fields to the Bears.
Yeah.
What up, Coach?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Man, we just.
How you doing? I was when Hakim said you might not make it today, I was a little disappointed because I know what happens is when you're not here, the level of LBJ confidence goes up. Usually when you're on the line with me, it kind of tones down a little bit. So when you're not around, it goes up to like a 12.
Oh, no. I was going to
fall back if I call in for reinforcements. Right now,
I already know.
Me up to get jumped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just upset the trade deadline passed and he's still a Laker.
But look at it this way. He having problems with the foot. So,
hey, look, Hot. See, this why I can't like him. This is really why I can't like him.
This is what he's behind.
He's healthy enough to break the record. Then
yeah.
Hold on one second. Let's save this conversation. Right now we're talking about the Super Bowl.
We talk about the Super Bowl, Coach. Sorry.
Great game.
Great. All right. So yeah, we talked about the game. We talked about the 2 QBs. If you want to add on, if you want to give us your perspective, Coach, please do.
I thought it was a phenomenal game. I think, like Debo has said, Philadelphia was exposed. There are some holes in that defense. And Mahomes, of course, was able to take advantage, especially that second half. He, he was finding his receivers where he wanted them. They were getting separation. They were going where they wanted to go. So I thought the offensive line protected Mahomes incredibly well. And I just thought it was a great game. Jalen Hurts did, I think, all he could do. That fumble still is a mystery to me that Hurts had. It just looked weird. Like he never had the ball or something was going on there. I thought that was just a weird fumble.
Wasn't there a defender coming hard off the pause? But
it was, but it was.
Yeah, he might. I think he might have saw a dude and just like for a second paid more attention to the
yes
than he did the football. Yeah,
yep.
It's one of those things. It happens.
Yep,
it happens.
He got ahead of himself.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I thought he played really well. And the thing I liked about him, and this is of course after the game, how he accepted the loss and took it as a lesson to learn and to move forward. He's just so poised, and I think
he's classy, man. You got to root for him.
Yeah, he really is, and so mature for his age and the amount of time he's been in the league. I just see greatness from him moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. We got the question from the new golden era saying questionable call at the end of the game. Our thought that I shared with Hawk before you got on. I said the player himself admitted that it was a hold.
Exactly. So why are we questioning it if the player says, "Yeah, I did it"?
Yeah, the player said it was a hold, so it was a hold.
Yeah. So why are we questioning what the player admitted to and the official called? So, I don't know why
because it was rigged. It was rigged, and that's the script. So the defender knew he had to do that to.
Yeah, hey, that's some great script writing. If it was rigged in the way that the defender was like, "Hey, I need to hold right here.
You need to hold right now."
Hopefully, they'll call it.
Well, can we talk just because I've been seeing some video clips from former players. Arian Foster kind of hinted at the NFL being scripted.
That was a joke, actually.
Right, and then there was a former special teams guy, I think punter or something, who said that at the beginning of the year he's given a script. And, whatever the case may be, my conclusion is if you can follow that script, you're still good because you still got to make the pass. You still got
football. Come on,
got to make the tackle. Yeah. You still got. I mean, yeah, I guess you could. You could pay a ref not to make a call. Or you could, but for the most part, when you see a game like this past Sunday, where both teams have stepped up and the level of ability, it makes sense why the Eagles pass rush wasn't as effective because the Kansas City offensive line is that dope and they scheme, like their schemes are really incredible. Yep. And then they were saying how Jacksonville had exposed the Eagles in terms of their corners being ready to bite. They're really aggressive trying to hit the corner. So if you give a little fake motion, the corners are going to step up, and you can. So that's one of the plays that KC ran when you had the flanker kind of going in motion. He got to the tight end, they called snap, and then he went back into the flat the other way, wide open. You're on mute, coach.
Yeah, that was a great play. That was phenomenal. I mean, they say Bieniemy had seen something on film and he knew he could run that.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name, coach? Who you said that?
Bieniemy, offensive coordinator for life.
The two-time winning offensive coordinator and the Eagles coordinator got a job.
Yeah. I mean,
that guy. Yeah.
I mean, and Andy Reid said something on that. He said, he hopes Bieniemy gets a job where he runs his own show. In other words, he shouldn't be hired as another OC. He should be a head coach. But part of that is I think he's waiting for Andy Reid to retire so he could just take over at KC.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it's pretty crazy
Nah,
because you get to a point where you don't even want to, like, he can't even really represent like who he is, just because people that hire him don't even want him there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're already starting out with somebody not even want you in the position. They're just checking a box because they want to act like they want you in the position, but they really don't.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
So that point you just made, Coach, Pearl made that same point earlier today about him wanting to just stay put and take over for Andy. And I'm like, that makes no sense at all, because God forbid they have an off year. He takes the blame, and
Todd Bowles syndrome.
Yeah. Your career is weighted on if you win the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to get a real look. If they don't win the Super Bowl next year, it's like, well, he had an off year. He's old school now. It's just the new systems are winning. That whole bullshit. And then listening to Skip and Shannon was implying that he's not even getting offers.
That's what it looks like.
Like, he didn't like an offer. He's getting offers, but he wants to stay put. Nah, he's not even getting offers.
Well, the biggest thing is that they don't want to tell you is that they don't feel like we're able to call offense. We're defensive coordinators, and Leftwich was an aberration because Bruce Arians is just one of those guys that gets it, right? So he can't hire everybody, but Bruce Arians is one of those dudes that just hires the best person, right? And he felt like Leftwich was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these people, the thought is that we can't run offenses. We can't think to that level to actually run an offense. We can think of the defensive side because that's aggression. And you don't think, you just use your athleticism. There's no thought involved. But they don't want to attach these guys to a offensive coordinator job. And the craziest thing about it is that Nagy and Peterson, who worked under Andy Reid, they didn't call any plays. Right. They were like the offensive coordinator. They were like assistants to Andy Reid, but they ran the offense. But they didn't call any plays. Andy Reid called the plays. Bieniemy's the only one that calls plays out of the three, and he's the one that can't get a job.
Yeah, I mean,
Peterson got a job without a Super Bowl.
I would not be surprised if Andy Reid actually does step down over the summer. He's been doing it a long time. First of all, he's had health issues. He's had family issues. He's won. This is his second Super Bowl. He doesn't have anything else to prove, really. I wouldn't be surprised. And, and he sets it up where Bieniemy becomes the head coach. Because I don't see Andy Reid ever going out losing. I think he would want to go out on top. So
the other piece of that is that Mahomes may only want to play for Bieniemy.
Yeah.
So and that would be a great thing too, because Andy Reid rightfully so. I think he drafted Mahomes, right? So he saw the talent there, but at the same time, he doesn't get no one says he won the Super Bowl because he has Mahomes. People are gonna say that about Bieniemy.
Yeah.
So it'll be the win because he has Pat Mahomes, not because he's a good coach as well. So that's the other thing, the other stigma you got to kind of take into consideration when it comes to Bieniemy. But it's sad because people are saying to me, "Oh, I think it's something with his interview skills. Like he doesn't really interview well." Oh, okay, that's what it is. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I think Mahomes has a lot to say with any kind of coaching situation because he's stuck there for 10 years.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of power, or at least a voice. I'm not going to say power, but he does.
He got a voice.
In that situation. And look, if Bieniemy wins a few Super Bowls with Mahomes and they say it was because he had Mahomes, all right, I still won the Super Bowl. You know?
Yeah, basically.
Phil Jackson won, a few with Jordan, and we know it was because he had Jordan.
Yeah.
Great, Then he went and did it, with Kobe and Shaq, but it was because he had
Kobe and Shaq.
It's not like he went and did it, with I'm not.
But I will say this, as a Laker fan, Kobe and Shaq needed him.
Yeah.
Kobe and Shaq needed him too.
Well, Michael Jordan needed him too.
Yeah, Michael Jordan needed him too. Yep. It's certain people, like people they don't like to say it, but there's certain people that just are built to navigate personalities, right? Yeah. So everybody's not built for that, right? I don't think Mike Brown was a horrible coach. I just think that I don't think like when he was a Laker coach, I don't think that job fit his personality. Right. But I don't think he was a horrible coach. I thought he was actually a good coach. Mm-hmm. But not for LA. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't that type of like. There's a lot of guys like that.
Bieniemy does a good job with Mahomes, and I think they have a good relationship. And can he build that with another QB? I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's just funny now. These other points of contention don't come up when other people are being considered. You can get a guy like Jeff Saturday come right out of high school.
Yeah, with a
losing
that's what I'm saying.
High school team. He just get right to now. We know not nepotism, but the politics. And that's kind of the point. Everybody from Nagy to you name it. Where did Sirianni come from, and what were his?
He was Indianapolis. He was on Frank Reich's. He was a Frank Reich's quarterbacks or like a quality control guy with the Eagles back when Frank Reich was there with Peterson. And he got elevated, and he ended up in Indianapolis with Frank Reich, and then he got the job in Philly.
Right, and having a job in Indianapolis during that stretch wasn't no big rah-rah.
Yeah, because Frank Reich didn't do anything. They didn't get anywhere, but he got a job. So
Matt Ryan, the quarterback, there was it.
They had Luck at the time, and then they got Wentz. They went and got Wentz.
They got Wentz.
They went and got Wentz. Yeah. So
like where's your track record of success that warrants you coming in and getting a head coach?
And I guess I think Edmonds
to the playoff. I mean to the Super Bowl. That's exactly because he got a shot beyond all this other things that they hold an Eric Bieniemy with or a any other.
Well, we just looking at one of the comments that came up about some people don't have a personality to be a coach. Well, my point with that is like, how do you know that he's the only one being targeted in that direction about his personality versus guys just get the job automatically? There's been plenty of dudes that work right away. Like the dude in Brandon Staley is a horrible head coach, and he still got a job. And he's got one of the better young quarterbacks in football. He's horrible.
It goes back to what you said earlier too, Wes. Some guys don't interview well, and some guys don't have a personality to be the head coach. They can have a brilliant offensive mind or defensive mind, and can really relate to the players, but they may not do well in the
corporate space,
in the interview room, or and
listen. Jimmy Johnson was horrible at it. Jimmy Johnson didn't want nothing to do with the money, the business. He said, let me handle the draft. Let me handle the players. And he did it well. He didn't want no other minutia. Like, that's what he did.
My shit is like, this is Eric Bieniemy, who's been in this league how long?
Forever. Well, the first issue was the Colorado incident in Colorado 40 years ago.
How many AFC championship games has he been to?
5.
5 in a row.
How many Super Bowls has he coached in?
3.
How many Super Bowls has he won?
2.
How many Super Bowl MVPs is under his stewardship?
2.
All this other shit means nothing to me.
Nope.
His resume is eons ahead of Bill Belichick. What about Bill Belichick's personality gives us this sense that he's this great leader of men? I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I'm saying what about his personality is just so glaring that you look at him in Cleveland, you look at him in other places, His track record was horrible.
He
What
sure
about
was.
Josh McDaniels suggests that he's a great leader of men?
Yeah.
As an offensive coordinator.
This is his second job.
He's getting jobs because he was Tom Brady's offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Yep.
And look, that's going to happen. I think that happens in any job arena. I just think it's so glaring with Eric Bieniemy because of his resume and how it stacks up. It's just like, okay, everybody just wants to know, what is it?
Well, we know what it is, right? Let me tell you, there's 30 gentlemen that know what it is, right? And those 30 gentlemen are not going to hire him now because people are going to ask, well, what happened a few years ago? Yeah. Why now? And those 30 gentlemen are not going to be forced. What I've noticed about these 30 gentlemen that's running what we talk about right now, they are not going to be forced to do this.
Yeah.
They're not going to be, they didn't care about Flores. They don't care about nothing. These dudes right here are straight gangster. They're not going to hire him because they don't want to hire him.
Right.
Period. That's it. It's really that simple. Like DeMeco Ryans got that job because he's from the Texans, right? And
they're familiar with him.
Huh?
They're familiar with him.
They're familiar with him, right? But they also struck out in the fans' base eyes with the two glaring coaching gaffes that they had. Regardless, everybody, there's not one person that believed that Lovie Smith was the right choice. We don't think that David Culley was the right choice. But what I will say about Culley and Lovie, Culley they were actually playing hard for both of them.
Yeah, they were.
Neither one of them had talent, right? So if you go to the Houston Texans roster and you put up who your players are, they had a running back and a cornerback, Stingley and Pierce. That's it. They didn't have nothing else on that roster. So, they were playing with they had like all thumbs on their hand.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have no but thumbs. So, and I'm not saying they did the right choice.
But not to mention the organization itself, the Houston Texans organization itself.
Oh, yeah.
Horrible. Like, it's on record. It's like historically horrible when it comes to their player relations. They've had problems with all their stars, including Jason Watt, like players.
Andre Johnson,
Adrian Foster,
Arian Foster.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they had problems with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Davion Clowney, when your man made a comment about the inmates running the asylum, and I mean, so they have
Watson.
Yeah, and then there's Deshaun, and he said I didn't want to be here, so now the setup came, Sting, because like he just started doing what he did. they let it out, right? They let it leak out. But yeah, their whole organization stinks. I pray for DeMeco Ryans with that job because to me, that's at least a 4-year project.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that as a 1 or 2 year project. That's like a 4-year project before you can probably sniff the playoffs. Mm-hmm. He's on a 6-year deal. Let's see what happens. But I do think that they're going to play. The players have already shown you they're going to play for their coach, right? Because they're young and they want to be in the NFL because they've done it 2 years in a row. They just had no talent. I think DeMeco is going to get that same effort. They have to just do a good job in the draft.
Yeah. I mean, they got to come up with a quarterback.
Yeah. But I think they can get away with drafting. I think they can get away with trading that draft pick and get a veteran stopgap for another couple of years and fill a whole lot of other holes because they can go out there and get a car and ride it out for 2 or 3 years and just try to go get. They have a lot. They need a lot, not just a quarterback.
They do need a lot.
So, but he got the job. So, good for DeMeco Ryans.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss him. Because
You should.
Yeah.
Our defense was tough with him.
Yeah, they were. Absolutely.
What else has happened around the NFL? That's worthy of conversation. Aaron Rodgers is playing back and forth with the Green Bay Packers again.
That's corny. He's corny too.
Once he comes back from his dark retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to shroom it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
got one for you, a football story for you. Brett Favre is
suing Shannon Sharp
and Pat McAfee.
And Pat McAfee.
Seriously?
For defamation.
He gonna lose that.
Really?
Yeah, he's suing him.
Where's
Yeah.
this at? Where's the lawsuits?
I don't know, but he made a comment that he's gonna press. He's suing Shannon Sharp and Pat McAfee for defamation.
Is it in Mississippi?
This is Mississippi. Might win that.
in his town, in that town. So if Shannon drives through that town, he got to pay the fee to go through that town.
Yeah, hey, look, if he filed in Mississippi, he may win that.
Yeah.
Well, off on a tangent, you know what else they're trying to do in Mississippi? Jackson, Mississippi, which is 80% African American.
Oh, yeah. I saw this. Yeah.
They're trying to basically say black people can't vote.
Yeah, set up a separate criminal system, court system.
Yeah, I heard.
You know,
it's getting, what do you call it, with Vin Rames and it's getting medieval out this month.
Yeah, no,
it's been.
It's fucking.
It ain't getting. It's been.
They're not playing. It's no longer behind closed doors. We're gonna put it out there and we're gonna legislate it. We're gonna let y'all all know this is what it is.
They said, hey, if they wanna speak the truth, we're gonna tell our truth now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's deep though. That they even trying it. And the dude who came up with the bill don't even live in Jackson.
No, don't even. Yeah. That's how they do. That's how they got Flint, man. Flint, Michigan.
Yep.
They installed the city manager, basically abolished the fucking city council, installed a city manager that's directly answerable to the governor, Republican governor. It was like, you know what? We're gonna switch water sources. No vote. We don't need any say-so from the people. Y'all stay there. We got this. Don't worry about it. You'll be good. Man, y'all better wise up. Y'all better wise up.
It's different. It's different out here right now.
What?
It's different.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's real different.
Yeah, man. But so Brett Favre got the little lawsuit against Shannon Sharp and Pat McAfee.
Yep.
That's real interesting. See how that plays out. What else is going on? Aaron Rodgers he's going back and forth. Is it Packers? Is it Raiders? They talking about? Is it Jets? They talking about?
Derek Carr was released today.
Yeah, Derek Carr got released. I saw that.
Yeah. Where do you think he may land up?
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he go.
That
he go to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because you got to figure Dennis Allen is there. That was his old coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was in Oakland, so yeah, I think that's like that makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So once again, great game. The Kansas City Chiefs are the champs. Pat Mahomes has proven to be in a league of his own. He's that guy.
Yep.
Extremely Jordan-esque in how he goes about his business.
Yeah, that's football Jordan.
Hey, look, in the first half when he got hit on that ankle, I was like, this dude, he's different. To come back off from that, he's different, man. He's just a winner.
He's the throwback. Yeah, he's a throwback like 70s football.
Yeah, he is. He's a winner. And his dad gives the best post-game interviews ever.
That was fire.
Yeah. He said Philly blunts.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, what you smoking on? He's like, I'm smoking on them Philly blunts tonight.
Philly blunts tonight.
That's right.
So, all right, before we switch over to the NBA.
Before we leave the Super Bowl, okay. One of the highlights for me was when they announced LeBron and the crowd booed.
I heard that, but at the party I was at, I couldn't hear them booing.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Why did they announce him though?
Because
they announced a bunch of people who were there. Shaq, a bunch of people. They put the camera on him basically. They ain't announced him, but
okay.
Camera on, a bunch of stars. And I was like, I appreciate that because he can walk around and be at the Super Bowl, but he can't play with a bad foot.
We can segue right into that right now.
No. Let's not do that yet. Before we leave the NFL, and then we're going to segue into the next conversation, which will then get us to that deeper conversation about the NBA. So just follow on, gentlemen.
Okay, I will.
All right.
My apologies.
All right. That's all good. It's all good. We're going to get there. We're going to have fun with it. But Tom Brady's the GOAT.
Quarterback.
How close is Pat Mahomes to catching him?
Very close. Very close. Because Tom Brady and what Montana and Brady can't say is that they had 2 MVPs in 5 years and 2 Super Bowls in the first 5 seasons.
Yeah.
They can't say neither one of them did that. So, and Brady got better in time, right? This dude is already the man, right? You couldn't say that last year until this happened, right? But he did a Brady type thing this year. He took away his weapons. It didn't matter. Still threw for 4,800. So, you know, he's very close. Closer than what Skip Bayless, I'm sure, wants to give credit to. But if put it this way, if he can get 4 in say 8 years, because Brady played 20. Yeah. If he can get 4 in 8 years, which is doable for him, is potentially doable. That's
and throwing for 4,500 to 5,000 yards a season.
Yeah, and put up another. Come on, man. It's
not going to take him 20 years.
35 plus touchdowns.
No, he can get this dude right here can get you 7. He gets you 7 to 15 years.
Yeah,
easy. Yeah, easy.
Him. That's because he's that nice. Brady wasn't that nice. He just they kept pieces around him, and he was very good. But this dude was already born nice.
Because he makes plays and players around him better.
Yeah.
You know.
Brady did that too, though.
No.
Brady did that too.
Yes,
because he threw like to 40 different wide receivers in the course of 20 years. And
but I think
let's be honest, without Tom Brady, Bill Belichick is not Bill Belichick we all know now. He's not.
I think it's a combination with Brady. I think Belichick had the right system for Brady, and Brady was the right quarterback for that system, and it worked. I think Mahomes, the difference is he makes plays that Andy Reid don't even think about.
Yeah.
Not even part of the system. You know, he just makes plays.
I just love the way they scheme. I love the way they protect him. I love the way the line moves with him. Like the way they scheme for him to be improvisational, to go off script, but still have his ass covered is like, man, Andy Reid is and Eric Bieniemy, they are something else. And the three of them together, oh my Lord. Yeah. Over the next however many years, I think if they keep that side. And they said with the Tyreek trade got them like 10 draft picks next year.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, like their offensive line it's almost like it's a force field around him.
Yeah.
And the way they move, because they know he back there moving around, but it's like that force field moves with him. You know.
But think about what they got with Pacheco. Pacheco was a 7th round pick, and he put Alaire Edwards on the bench.
Yeah.
And he was good.
Yes, he was. He was.
All right, so I think we're all in agreement with Pat Mahomes not being that far off, and we could definitely see him eclipsing Tom Brady, which would be amazing, like unbelievable if that happened. But this guy's something else, and we just all locked in.
But I don't think it's measured. I think I agree with you about him passing Brady. But see, my passing Brady is legitimately passing him, and it don't have to be 7 rings to pass him. Because again, we said it's not always about the championships, right?
No.
Like he's gonna pass him.
It
like
could be 4 or 5, but when you factor in the yards, the completion,
everything, he's gonna pass everybody.
The rushing yards, just everything he does. When you factor everything I'm with you. I'm totally with you. It's not just a matter of going to 7 or 8 championships. It's a matter of executing at a high level where you go, you know what? He only got 4 rings. He's Joe Montana, but god damn, his numbers just. Because football, you need a team. Like your defense got to be stout. Your offensive line's got to be right. You got to factor in injuries. It's a volatile sport, so it's so many pieces. We don't want to just hold rings to the equation here.
And you know what?
Go ahead.
That Tyreek Hill trade, like you said, with getting those 10 draft picks, I think that set him up for longevity much more than keeping Tyreek Hill would have.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're
Absolutely.
going to get so much more out of that than they would have out of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that was an amazing deal for them to get. I mean, I just think like the thing about him that makes him so special is that he immediately passes all the greats. Because let me tell you what all the greats don't do: run the ball like him, Marino, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. You put them all in the list. He knocking all of them out the gate because they ain't doing that like at all. It's not even questioned.
He doesn't get hit
John
when
Elway
he runs the ball.
Yeah, but John Elway took some L's. Like as much again, Elway was elevated. This dude was. Let's. How about this? Can we say? I get this one point out. Can we find out who the GM was for the Chicago Bears that drafted Mitchell Trubisky, and let's get him out of football completely?
Hopefully, he is out of football completely.
He should be out of football completely because you let two studs get out there. Two, not one, two. Come on, he got to get out of football. Damn. That dude, man. Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for Mahomes because I'm not a Kansas City Chief fan, but I love watching him play.
Yeah, he's entertaining.
That's why I call him Quarterback Mike.
All right. Well, on that note, so last week, we had our first episode of Cancel Court.
I watched it.
Michael Jordan versus LeBron James.
Yeah.
Who's the GOAT? So I like to, just play part 2.
Play it.
Here we go.
Oh. Well, gotta love the pageantry. Because that's what he's going to try to sell you on. He's going to talk about Michael Jordan like this nigga is Santa Claus. But let's look at the facts. Everybody knows what evolution is, right? As time goes on, people get better at things. The playing field gets harder, gets greater. Michael Jordan played a lot of white guys. And let's be honest, that's not what the NBA at its toughest actually looks like. LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, James Harden. You can name some of the greatest 2 guards and small forwards to ever play the game. You know who they played against? LeBron. You know who Michael Jordan played against? Dan Marley. Craig Elo. You hear me? Like Danny Ainge. Are we being serious? These were starters, by the way. Oh my God. Oh, the competition was stiff for Michael Jordan. All these great guards he had to overcome to be great. He never even had real competition at his position. The best 2 guard that he ever played against in his prime was Reggie Miller, who only shoots threes. Reggie Miller is 6'7", and there's no dunk recorded of Reggie Miller in his entire career. That was his greatest athletic competition through the prime of his career. Let's be serious. LeBron James has made it to the finals 10 times in 17 years. Some people would go, oh my God, but Jordan won 6. Yeah, he went 6. That's it, just 6. And he just so happened to be on the better team 6 times. But you let Jordan fans tell you, Jordan was the only nigga on the court playing 5-on-1. He never lost, ever. He played 15 years, has 6 rings, but never lost. You figure out that math. That shit makes no sense to me. Sounds like a nigga lost 9 times, but I could be incorrect. It's sad. I pointed out the competition that he had to play against. People act like he didn't have anybody to play with. Like Scottie Pippen wasn't as great as Scottie Pippen is. When Jordan was there, they won 57. This nigga left They won 55 games and was a bad call away from going back to the finals without this nigga. When LeBron James leaves a team, they become a high school roster. If the team, think about this, the team without him can't make the playoffs. Team with him in the finals. I'm sure if he joined a 55-win team without him, that they'd win the finals. Imagine having 55-win team and then add you, the best player in the league. If you don't win the title, nigga, who are you? Scottie Pippen was an MVP candidate. MVP candidate when Jordan left. They were like, yeah, but all he had was Pippen. Soon as Jordan left, Horace Grant became an all-star. B.J. Armstrong became an all-star. Oh yeah, both them niggas was on the team Jordan played on, by the way. Technically, they had 4 all-stars, but the nigga ball hogged so much, 2 of the niggas couldn't make it. That is the truth about Jordan. That's all I'm saying. It's the myth. Nigga. Your Honor, the defense arrest.
Oh shit. Ryan Davis is back in his bag.
I want you to drink all your milk today, okay? You got a big day, big game. And I saw...
Been waiting for this. He brings up Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen is probably my favorite NBA player of all time. You don't win that many championships without Scottie Pippen. But he was homegrown organically. LeBron out here looking for the best players in the championship final. Because yes, he's gone to the championship 10 times and won 4. 4 and 10. That's failure. Any way you slice it. You take a 10-question quiz, you get 4 right. You fail. Nice showing up to the big game, but if you don't take home the big ring, nobody cares. Thanks for showing up. And we all know the East was shaky. LeBron just coming every year, it got boring. They call him not clutch for a reason. He wasn't getting it done. Jordan got it done every time. Oh, we in the finals? I'm gonna get it done. And he got it done. 3-peat, right? Jordan was so good. White Sox was like, hey man, you know, you play baseball? Come through. He's like, all right, you know. He on the baseball team. Chill. Jordan came back and won 3 in a row. You know how hard it is to win 3 championships in a row? LeBron don't know what that feels like. Because he can never do it. He can never get it done. He hasn't got it done yet. I mean, here and there, yeah, I won here and then I took, next year I lost. Here's the thing about Jordan, man. He left, came back. Jordan made basketball interesting to people that could care less about basketball. The whitest of the whitest individuals of all time was like, Jordan. He was the reason the USA basketball team went to the Olympics. Like, we ain't gonna do it without Jordan. Jordan's like, all right, I'll do it. Now it's cracking overseas. This is what Jordan did. Jordan is a beast. LeBron is good, but he be flopping, overselling the fouls, making it a soft NBA game. You know what I'm saying? Jordan was taking the hits and the stabs. Yeah, he was fussing, but that's what they do. When you get a foul called on you, like Oakley, he would stab somebody on the court and be like, what? Wait, ref, what do you mean? What do you mean? Blood on the knife. Pancreas pieces all on the blade. He was like, what you talking about, ref? That's the culture he came up in. You know why Jordan's eyes are so red on that little documentary? Because he was laser focused. He's a killer. He don't care about nothing but winning. LeBron out here looking for who's hot. Yo, Kyrie, hey, man, let's link up, man. I just need a little bit of help. Come on, y'all. Jordan was like, hey, man, y'all come to me. I ain't going nowhere. And they was like, all right. And Pippen came in. He was a baby deer coming into the league. He was like, his knees were slamming together. Turned into one of the best players of all time, organically. It's easy to be like, yeah, we winning now because you're getting the hottest players on the streets. All the Bulls guys was like, yeah, we'll take Rodman because he's a killer. He robbed people in alleyways after every NBA game. He didn't give a damn, man. He has herpes, chlamydia, syphilis, all at the same time. Best record of all time. Chicago Bulls till the Warriors recently passed it, but best record of all time. Speaks for itself. Come on, man. Jordan, man. His career average is over 30 points a game. Career average. Jordan is a killer. He creates other killers. Kobe Bryant is another laser-focused, legendary killer that was born from Jordan. He would create a whole storyline just to beat the other team. Oh, you ain't gonna say what's up to me? All right. 43 points that night. He created personal vendettas to win the game. LeBron living too good now. He ain't got no vendettas. The only vendetta he got is that receding hairline. That's his only vendetta, the shoe polish. Jordan was bald and proud. And that makes me proud. I rest my case.
Before you take your seat, I have a question that I wanted to ask you because it's interesting that life before Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman was a little bit rough. So I'm going to read you some facts that was entered into the court case that I want you to speak on and talk about. It says here.
I hate that you're going there because that was my next point.
Let me know if these facts are correct. In 1984, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan was eliminated in the first round.
He was.
In 1985, Jordan was eliminated in the first round.
Okay.
In 1986, Jordan was eliminated in the first round.
Okay.
In 1987, Jordan was eliminated in the second round. In 1988, Jordan was eliminated in the third round. In 1989, he was eliminated in the third round. In 1994, Jordan was eliminated in the second round. In 2001, Jordan doesn't make the playoffs.
2002, Jordan doesn't make the playoffs with the Washington Wizards.
Right.
Could you explain those facts? It seems a little bit heavy for Mr. Jordan.
Easy work. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, you need a good team. Okay. Jordan needed a solid team. So you could be like, oh, well, but LeBron didn't need a team to go to the championship and lose. You're still a loser. Whether you go to the playoffs and get out early, okay, what does that really mean? He didn't make it as far. So what? LeBron didn't win those championships. The goal of an NBA season is not the playoffs. The goal is to win a championship. LeBron can go to the final game all day and night. Did you win? When the confetti's coming down and they kissing and pouring champagne, LeBron was in the locker room getting dressed until he manufactured some star players to come around him just to give him that little boost that he needed. And he talking about Jordan only played with white players. Hakim Olajuwon? Are you kidding me? Isaiah Thomas?
Both of them won chips against Jordan.
Magic Johnson?
He also won one.
Order in the court, Mr. Davis.
Who was on the Lakers squad when Jordan won his first championship? Magic Johnson. Rest my case, man.
Cancel Court will be right back.
That was entertaining. But your boy Ryan was wrong because Clyde Drexler was in the league and he didn't mention him at the 2 guard. So it's like I was like, he missed that. He missed a couple of points. And then they want to talk about facts again.
This shit's
it was just hilarious. It's funny as hell.
It is funny.
Oh my God. I was dying when I watched. I had to watch it that night. After you told me, I had to watch it. It was funny as heck. I was cracking up. And I think the other part, we'll get to it. Is another part that makes me laugh when he talks about LeBron and Jordan playing against Larry Bird. Larry Bird like, ooh.
He found out quickly who he was.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah. So LeBron James is now the greatest scorer in league history. Broke the record last week.
Yep.
They lost the game.
Yep.
But it seemed to be, the focus was him getting past that. AD looked not pleased.
Because they were losing.
Because they lost the game. They took him out. They lost the game, and they lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's put that on the board.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. So, again, I think they had a list of every time he gets an accolade, they've lost.
Every time.
So,
why can't rock with this dude?
The thing about it, and I had to turn it on because I hadn't watched the whole Laker game, but I'm a sports fan, and that was historic. That was an historic accomplishment. So regardless of how I feel about the player, for him to do that was phenomenal. Let's just put it out there. Phenomenal accomplishment. But I think in perspective for me, it has even made me feel how Kareem was it made Kareem feel greater to me. Like not greater than LeBron. I just felt like in retrospect to think about the dude that played his position and he at 37, he passed Will at 37 and ended up going to the finals 5 more times after that record. He went to the finals 5 times. And he didn't win them all. He was 3-2, but he went to the finals 5 times at 37 after that record, and he don't have the ball. And the game is different now, but it just puts it in perspective that that longevity is what it takes. And Kareem stayed away from the injuries. LeBron stayed away from the injuries. That's been LeBron's biggest asset is his availability, even though he got unavailable after he broke the record. But overall it was dope to see somebody pass that in our lifetime.
Yeah.
I think that was dope. But also I thought about a guy like KD because I said, damn, KD got hurt, and that just shows you about longevity. Because he knocking on 30,000 right now.
Right.
And the way he scores points and his usage rate is so much less in terms of how he's so much more efficient. Not saying he's a better player, but offensively he's so efficient that I could have seen if he didn't lose those 2-3 years with the extremity injuries, KD might have dropped. I mean that record would be in jeopardy right now.
Yeah. Sure.
Like real talk. So because of the way the game is played now, right? Because the game is played for offense. That's what they do. So yeah.
I think it stood out to me just seeing when Kareem was sitting there. I'm like, and they kept showing the points, and I'm like, Kareem did this with no 3-pointers.
Yeah. It was 6,000 points LeBron had, so which is equivalent to 2,000, 2,000 extra points from the 3-point line.
He said if you remove if you removed all of LeBron's 3-pointers, he'd be 7th on the scoring list.
But that's just what's so crazy about what Kareem did.
It's not shaming LeBron because he's playing in the era that he's playing in. You can't get mad at that. So.
But I'm just more amazed now by what Kareem did.
That's what I said. I was just more amazed by what Kareem did.
Strictly 2s and 1s.
And they gave him the ball, and he had to deliver.
Yeah, and he didn't have a ball in his hand. Somebody had to give him the ball.
Yeah,
I'm amazed by that. But look, LeBron, his biggest asset has been his availability. And that is his greatness. But, looking back this week, since he's broken the record at some of his younger interviews and everything, I am a firm believer that he's on HGH.
Probably.
I look at his body, his head, how everything is.
Let me rewind that. Let me not say probably. Let me say,
which isn't a bad thing. I don't think that's a negative at all.
It wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, I don't think it's a negative. I actually think it's a positive because he learned how to take care of his body at the highest level you can as an athlete.
Yeah, I do want to push back somewhat on what his greatest ability is. I think his greatest ability is his basketball IQ.
Yeah, he does have a high IQ.
His intelligence, and then of course his availability, his longevity, because of the way he takes care of his body. He he goes into it differently than most others. I don't think he's the
And I
only
want to say his playing
argue that.
IQ. I'm not going to give him full basketball IQ. I'm going to say playing IQ because his GM IQ is questionable.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. I'm not. I wouldn't at all. I don't know any player while he was playing was actually GMing their team.
Yeah, but on the court, his IQ is.
And I don't think that's a wise thing to do either, no matter who it is.
No, it's not.
I think having a strong GM that commands respect from all the players, stars, and I think is the best, because you need accountability, and that's what the GM is there for, to be accountable. If the players has all the influence, when the shit hit the fan, you're not gonna call the player out because he's your star. It's like that's unbalanced.
Yep.
So, yeah. But E, you were saying something?
No, I appreciate LeBron. I give you a hard time, Hawk. I definitely appreciate. I've been watching him since high school. I'm talking back to the ABCD camps. Watching him play here in Jersey in the Metro Classic. Been watching him, a long time, and it's phenomenal to see his maturation, his ability to deal with everything that comes with being this crown prince to become the king.
Yeah.
And it's been beautiful to see his, what he's done for his community back in Akron. Him speaking out on subjects that he could have been quiet on. Not everything, but I think he's spoken up at the right time about the right things. He's kept his nose clean, how he's kept his friends around him and helped them to reach whatever their career dreams are. I was having this conversation earlier about Kevin Hart has his friends around him, but they all basically work for Kevin Hart. LeBron has his friends around him, but he set them up to do what they wanted to do, so they make their own money.
Yeah, it just happens to intersect with what he's doing.
Yes, it intersects with what he's doing. And
he set it up perfectly.
Yes, and what he did there, I think, is how it should be done. I think that's a blueprint. If you want to, have your boys with you, make sure, hey, what do you like to do? What do you like to do? And make sure you put them in a position so they can be successful at that. And
absolutely,
not basically taking care of them or them living off of you, because then that becomes a different relationship.
Yeah.
It loses the honesty, of that relationship. So it's just beautiful to see what he's done with his family, being with the same woman, even after she got pregnant, early in high school, had a child. He didn't have to, he didn't have to marry her or stay with her. He could have definitely gone another route. He's done the right thing. So I applaud him. And I think as a man, he's been a great role model, for kids. As a basketball player, done a phenomenal job taking care of his body, improving his game year to year. Just he should be applauded. He's destroyed my Lakers, but it is what it is.
That's what I said. I mean, I criticize. I'm consistent on this show, but your man stayed up and watched the tip to the end, because I understand what history is, right? And you got to give respect where respect is due. It don't change my mind of like people's like, that's just it. That seals the deal. He's the best player. No, that has nothing to do with it. No. Sorry. I mean, for people it will, but in my opinion, it doesn't change anything. It just says he has he conquered a record that's, because I asked you in a second, does anyone in here think Pete Rose is the best baseball player?
No.
He got the most hits.
Yeah.
So nobody's going to get 4,200 hits anytime soon. So that's my point. It was a great accomplishment, and no one has been sitting for 40 years. But as much as we want to, it's a generational thing, first off, right? Because I'm sitting here telling you that I think Jordan is, whereas my father might say Wilt was, right? So that's his generation, and his dad might say Bill Russell, you know. So it becomes a generational argument. Is what you're used to seeing. I'm just not ready to do that because I've the eye test tells me different.
Yeah,
because,
everybody brings their thing to what they do to the game, right? They have their individual attributes. They leave their mark, so to speak. And to see such a well-rounded basketball player, I don't know if we'll ever see that again. I think that will be an indelible mark left by LeBron James, somebody of that size, stature, to have that much speed, agility, to have that high of a basketball IQ, to be put his, when you listen to players talk about playing against or with LeBron James, just his presence on the court makes people adjust. It's different, his spacing is different because this guy's on the court. Everything's different. So,
but that's what they say about most of the great ones. So
yeah, and I disagree with you in this respect. I think we will see the evolution of LeBron because I think we're seeing it right now, and it's going to be in the league next year. We're going to see the evolution. Someone bigger, someone who will.
But that's like Wembanyama.
Yeah,
is what you're talking. He's like the next level Kareem.
No, it's not. See, I disagree. I believe he's the next level LeBron. From what we've seen, he can do everything that LeBron can do, except he's 7'4".
I mean, shit, Kareem could fucking bring the ball up the court. They just wouldn't let him. He talks about that. He was like, yo, if they let me play my game, I'd have been Giannis back then. He's like, but that wasn't the nature of the game. It made me move without the ball and get on the ball. Like he
was a basketball player.
He was a basketball
player. But I think we're going to see the evolution of LeBron, bigger, taller,
right?
stronger.
No, bigger, stronger, but with the same IQ.
I think we're going to see that because the young people now have more access to the game, to film study. They're doing film study. Well, we were doing it in high school when I was coaching. They're doing film study now. They're going to literally basketball classes, breaking down the game. They're learning the game in ways that it just wasn't done before. Most of these guys got it later.
All right, so you know how, okay, you got Jordan is 1A, Kobe's 1B, right? And as much as Kobe patterned his game after Jordan, Kobe was still different than Jordan.
Right.
Kobe, the mark that Kobe leaves is it. You can compare Doncic to Larry Bird all you want. It's still different. Yes, the evolution, right? But they still gonna leave that particular mark. And with LeBron, it's just it's gonna evolve and it's gonna be bigger, faster, stronger. But I think that historically he will have left. We'll never see that again. Like I don't ever think we'll see Jordan again. Oh yeah, Kobe. Nah, Kobe was still different. Yeah,
I see
Jordan,
it,
but he still had his own signature. Kobe's different than Jordan. There's a different respect you have for Kobe than you have for Jordan. It's different.
I don't know if we'll ever see another player off the court like LeBron.
That's what I'm gonna say. I think a lot of LeBron love subconsciously, because we can't help it, comes from the off the court stuff.
Yeah,
like
I don't know
it makes you. It just have you want to support them no matter what, even more, especially on the female side, because there's women like that's it. Like they don't even know a lot about. Some of them know, some do, some don't. But it has to do with the fact that we all respect and call it what I mean. His job off the court has been unmatchable, right? From for 20 years to be in the spot. Like the only person I see that got down like LeBron in terms of just staying clean and just doing it the right way is Derek Jeter. Like to me, they run neck and neck for Jeter to be in the New York area for 20 years, a single man, and now he's married to this beautiful woman with 3 beautiful daughters, and just keeping it moving, owning teams, and just what could you say about that dude? LeBron is just like that. That was the blueprint.
But coming straight out of high school,
yeah,
from the circumstances he
no,
came.
but I know we came out the circumstances, but coming straight out of high school had already, like, when I talk about LeBron and when I talk about Kobe and Kevin Garnett coming out of high school, they came out at a time where the only person they could actually talk to about it would have been Moses Malone, right? LeBron was 8 years later and Kobe had Kevin Garnett to go to after 1 year. LeBron had both of them dudes to see for 8. Like, so, and you add his ability to the fact that he knows now it can be done because he got guys that are only 8 years older than him that he probably could touch because of his aura as a high school like phenom. When you have the blueprint in front of you already, you know it can be done, and now you're just adding to it. So it wasn't like he did something different than those dudes. Those dudes, they were like the pioneers for making it happen for him because he was another alpha guy in that perspective.
There was nobody that had the expectation like this dude. Like the expectation for LeBron James, the weight on his back.
It's because but what I'm saying is,
way different.
Kevin Garnett and Kobe made that expectation like that because now you saw two guys that did it, but now here's a better guy because we always go into the next best thing. And LeBron was in high school. There's guys that were in grade school after like 15 years ago. They were talking about a fifth grader because it just gets lower and lower.
We watched Kenny Anderson since he was in the 6th grade. He was on sports.
Yeah,
6th grade.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You know, Stephon Marbury was a high school.
No, New York watched Kenny and Stephon Marbury. Marbury became a household name when he got to Georgia Tech. Like a household name.
Right.
And so did Kenny Anderson when they both went to Georgia Tech.
Right.
College.
LeBron, national.
Yeah, but so was Kevin Garnett. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Kevin Garnett was national too. He was national. He was going to go to Georgetown.
Yeah,
they were talking about
Kevin Garnett,
it. Remember, the media got different. It evolved 8 years later.
Kevin
Kobe was
in South Carolina.
Same thing in Lower Marion. They were Eddie Jones and all these dudes were playing. Aaron McKee were playing against Kobe in high school. Like when they were in college, they were playing against Kobe in high school. So they knew about these dudes. But 8 years later, it got more hype and more access.
It's not like they walked into a situation where it was like, well, here's the keys off jump. Well, LeBron off jump.
Kevin Garnett got the keys off the bat.
Kevin Garnett did.
He got the keys off the bat in Minnesota. And Kevin Garnett didn't come in. Part of it had to do with it was definitely a lot to live with.
Right.
He didn't name himself. Kevin Garnett didn't come in and call himself the big ticket.
I'm sorry. Marbury was there first, right?
No, Kevin Garnett was there first.
Yeah,
Garnett was there first.
Okay.
And Garnett didn't call himself the big ticket when he rolled in. So some of the hype was self-inflicted. We got to admit that. We can't just pick and choose what we want to. He had pressure, but you added some of the pressure.
Jokers call themselves all types of things all over everywhere. Not everybody.
The king. That's what I'm saying.
No, people call themselves the king all the time.
I'm just saying. In basketball, I'm just looking at it. I just look at it when you add a lot of pressure that you add to yourself.
There's kids around this country all over the place that nickname themselves the God Sham. This is the point God.
God Sham God.
Well,
that was his name.
That was his name.
But,
that was his first name.
Calling himself the point God. Like that's a very arrogant thing to say about yourself.
So, and what I'm saying is that
hold on. That happens all over the place. We cared about LeBron because it was LeBron. Not he had already set the mark to grab your attention. Where him saying something like that now you care about it whether you're pro or con. You give a fuck because
nigga. I don't think that's why they care.
You don't care.
I don't think that's
some backstory on that. And here's where it came from. Because actually LeBron in high school actually was not the best player in the country. Lenny Cook was kid from Queens.
I remember Lenny Cook.
And they played at ABCD camp, which was right at FDU. You know, and LeBron outplayed Lenny Cook.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what
in Club Envy the night before. Lenny Cook was in my party, Club Envy, every week when he was in high school.
Well, that's what propelled LeBron.
That's why Lenny Cook is. I don't know what he's doing right now, but it ain't in the NBA.
It's not in the NBA because Lenny Cook was the better player. Lenny Cook didn't have that same whatever.
Yeah.
And at that camp, LeBron outplayed him, And that's what changed everything right there. But going back to your point on Kevin Garnett was from South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
He was such a big deal. They moved him to Chicago so he could play in the big city in a big market. And that's why
he played for John Thompson.
Yep. That's why he was the big ticket.
Yeah.
You know, because he went from small town South Carolina where he was killing everybody, went to Chicago where he was killing everybody.
At Farragut, right?
At Farragut. Yep.
Farragut,
which wasn't really known like that. It was a smaller school. Put them on the map, you know. So look, LeBron was set up the whole time to be great, but he took advantage of situations that were set up for him. Because look,
he perfected
if he
it. I give him credit for that.
He doesn't perform at that camp.
His story. I'm just like the whole package, because there's basketball, right? And then there's real fucking life, right? And when you're a kid going through junior high school and high school, trying to focus on this thing, and you're going door to door, house to house, couch to couch, you know, finding fatherhood figures and other people.
That's all cap too. Remember, part of this is fairy tale, because his high school coach is the one who really took him in.
But still, brother, like I got you. There are way more Lenny Cook stories than there are LeBron James stories.
I don't agree. Outcome, yes, but there are tons of kids, because I've had tons of kids sleep on my couch. That's not abnormal, you know. And,
no, it's not. The fact that you exceed expectation and become this thing, that's the thing that's abnormal.
I don't think he exceeded expectations basketball wise.
He was that good.
Yeah, I don't think he exceeded any basketball expectations. These were the expectations that were there for him. He didn't exceed any basketball expectations.
He was literally the best player coming out of high school, and we hadn't seen a player like that since Kobe. They said that, and Garnett coming straight out of high school. There were tons of kids in between 95 to 2003. There were like tons of kids that came out straight out of high school. They did nothing, like nothing. There was no success. We don't even know who they are, right?
And
so
I'll go back.
That's also a part of his journey, right? Because he has to be sure that's part of his greatness.
So when I look at his peer group, when I look at the players that came in the league, when he came in the league, right? And you know, everybody from Harden, you know, KD comes in after, they all come after, but just that peer grouping, right? Outside of Steph and KD, thanks to Golden State, like it doesn't even like if he would have won one championship. Which one? If he would have never gone to a championship and just gone, like to me, it's like looking at a sophomore, junior in high school and say, listen, in your career, this is what you're going to do. And when you go 10 times win 4, greatest score of all time, like, bro, like, dude, I'm just looking at it from like the holistic perspective, the whole thing, not just from after you're an established basketball player. Okay, what are you doing? Like, yeah, I'm looking at the whole thing, bro. He's exceeded mad expectations. I know a lot of people that said he would never win a chip.
I know
a lot of people on TV that doubted his ability. I'm talking about coming into the league early years. Mad people doubted him, bro. Not us, but there's a lot. Everybody didn't take the ride.
But that's my thing. I don't think anybody who was a basketball person who had seen him from high school doubted that not only was he going to be great, but he was going to win because he had done it. You know,
the reason a lot of people become like in a lot of different situations, you got a villain and a hero, right? Villains are just as dope as heroes, right? And sometimes you get vindicted. I mean, you get criticized because of your greatness. People knew he was going to be great. I mean, I think it's like, but there was people that didn't want to give him the credit for being great. But the dude, again, he had an opportunity to see two successful people that were people that he could talk to. That's the key, right? And then in between that, there were a plethora of players that came out of high school that failed, right? And they didn't have the same hype as LeBron or Kevin Garnett or Kobe. Like, I always think about, what's the dude from Detroit? Daggone it. He had like a name like not Carmelo. It was Cortega, something like oh man, I forgot this dude's name, but he was like this hype player that came out. No one even knew about him, and he got drafted by Detroit, and it was like, okay, but we didn't really believe it. Even when Jermaine O'Neal came out, we really didn't believe that. You know what I'm saying? We were like, and he struggled because of it. Now, Jermaine O'Neal, you know, I got to give him credit because he had a hell of a career when you really think about it. But he struggled tremendously coming in, right?
Yeah, because he went to a team with a bunch of veterans.
Small bucket is that bucket of small people. A small circle, but if you see it, you know it's possible, especially when you're that good. Like, when you look at Magic coming into the league with Bird and Dr. J being there already, Magic knew he could do it because of Dr. J, because they had the same type of talent level, and he could touch Dr. J.
Possible,
he could touch him.
But possible is one thing. But let me Vince Carter played in the league 20 years. Outstanding career.
Yeah.
Like, I saw a clip with Tracy McGrady, Kobe, a bunch of folks really giving Vince Carter his flowers in terms of what he brought to the game, his versatility, just everything, right? Like, Vince Carter had a stellar career for 20 years.
20 years.
He's not LeBron James.
No, and he also didn't come out of college. I mean, he come out of high school.
Regardless, just in terms of like the level of success that LeBron has achieved, whether he's greater than Kareem or Michael Jordan or whoever, is irrelevant. The fact that you could be even mentioned in the conversation as Michael Jordan and
he's
Kareem,
great.
It's been, when you look at like a Stephon Marbury, I mean, circumstances, I get it, but as fucking great as Stephon Marbury is, you're not putting him in the same conversation as Michael Jordan.
No, not at all.
Just not.
Even close.
Like,
not even close.
When you look at Stephon Marbury, coming from the conditions he came from, made it out, like, he's fucking legendary, no doubt legendary. Like, it's no question, but it's not there. So,
but you don't think that those? Let me ask you this question: since LeBron is, and I know he is, right, because he has a high IQ, not just in basketball. He's a savant in basketball and basketball life, people's lifestyles, and the pitfalls and the potholes. You don't think LeBron studied some of these dudes in their careers? Because all these guys like Marbury and all these guys, they had their pitfalls before he even got to the league. So LeBron is like, yo, he knows everything. Like, he's on top of it all. He knows it all.
So
that's an example. Like, he had a reason.
But to your point, right? All these names, Tracy McGrady, Maury Stoudemire, everybody doesn't step back and look and learn from other people's mistakes and get advice. And very few people do that. Like, that's not like, something that's very exceptional. To your point, like, you're right. He had the luxury of having these examples, right? But unfortunately, most people don't learn from other people's mistakes. They got to learn from their own mistakes, right? So the ability to sit back, do the knowledge, take advice, heed this and that and the third, like, leave Cleveland and submit to Dwayne Wade enough. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people can't, on that level, ego, my game, I'm the best player, I'm the king. You still got a lot to learn. You got to submit yourself. And then being able to do it for that time being until he decided, I got to be out. But, like, not everybody can do that. That got to pat him on the back for that, you know?
Yeah.
Because without it, you don't get those first two rings.
No, you don't. You get the first two rings, without playing for Pat Riley and Dwayne Wade. So that's why when people talk about, like, he never had this, yes, he did, because he had Pat Riley. I don't care if he was on the bench or not. Pat Riley was in that organization.
Yes.
So take that argument away. I think the piece for me, the biggest piece for me where I struggle, and it's not about his greatness, because he's great. I put it out there. He's a great. I just don't feel like he's the greatest, because when I compare him to like a Kareem and a Jordan for that matter, I don't have on my resume whether because they all lose, right? Like you can go down the line, they've all lost. Like it's not Jordan. I mean, LeBron went more than Jordan, but essentially they all had losing. They had to deal with losing to some degree, whether it be first round, second round, under 500, whatever. They had to deal with losing. Jordan lost, but the one problem I always have, and we never, no one ever mentions it ever when it comes to LeBron. Jordan never ever quit, never. And this is before before the Boston thing that went down. But we know we talked about you and I. He had other incidents where like the Dallas series. It was like I've never seen someone get that little at that position. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
and it happened.
Well,
it happened.
There's a conspiracy.
Jordan and Kareem.
There's a conspiracy.
Now, here's the other thing about LeBron.
We keep talking about a conspiracy theory. I'm just saying, man. Like that's another. That's like I saw it.
Here's the other thing about LeBron. I think that goes overlooked. And I've said this many times. When LeBron went to Cleveland, had DeJuan Wagner been healthy,
yeah,
LeBron may have been Pippen to DeJuan.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Now here's the other part of that because DeJuan was a killer. The other part of that is early on because DeJuan was in Cleveland, LeBron had access, influence, and was mentored by Worldwide Wes very early from day one, which most people do not realize the influence that Worldwide had on LeBron's career and him as a person and just grooming him to act and be a certain way. That's the part a lot of
people heard that before.
No.
I'm sure Worldwide West doesn't do that for everybody.
No. Not at all. Not at all. And that, I think, was a very instrumental part in LeBron becoming LeBron, you know. And also Worldwide had a great relationship with Dan Gilbert. You know, Dan Gilbert is known as pretty much an asshole.
Yeah.
You know? But
no doubt.
It made it palpable so that this situation can work. But had DeJuan, one, not been in Cleveland, and two, not gotten hurt, we could be having a completely different conversation right now.
What they say
I agree with that. I agree with that.
What they say about if, right?
Candy and nuts. Merry Christmas.
I mean, if he was healthy, you know, right now he would be playing instead of, you know, going to Super Bowls and parties and stuff. You know.
I just know that as a Laker fan, again, I don't care what nobody says. And Coach, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. When Gasol, Howard, and Steve Nash were hurt that year, and Kobe had to go rogue to get him into the playoffs, everybody was saying he's taking over the team. That's not a winning way. They finished over 500. They get into the playoffs. He pops his Achilles doing it, and we're sitting here celebrating a team that's 26-32 right now. It's sickening to me. It's sickening.
Celebrating a team that's who's celebrating that.
They're like, we acting like they're only 4 games out there. It's this spot. I'm like, yo, they 26-32.
And we acting like they made moves during the trade deadline to get them over the hump.
They're 26-32. Yeah. Like, what are we doing here? Like, they're not 32-26. They 26-32.
I think what people are saying is that it's so bunched up in the West that if they were to get their act together, they could actually make a run. That's what people.
But they have to get their act together by playing.
Right. Niggas motherfuckers can throw me ifs all goddamn day. You know, if this happened, if that, I go listen.
You gotta play, right? It can't be low. We almost the game 60 right now, right?
If AD could stay healthy, and if it don't matter. Okay, you're right. And don't throw me a set of ifs. Well, if this, that, and the third. Come on, man.
Well, what he did say that was real.
Nobody's celebrating. I didn't see nobody celebrate a losing record. What people are saying is that if they were to get their act together, right, and they could make a run, it's possible they could get in the playoffs. But you know, it's a big if.
That year
we celebrating the fact that he won the goddamn. I mean, he got the goddamn.
Kobe just went out and played and put the team on his back.
Right.
You know, and I think
like
that's
even can I ask about the energy? The game, the day he passed the record. That's the energy me and Hakim was talking about. The last time I saw him play like that was in damn near Golden State Finals.
Yeah.
That's the energy that we don't see. Well, we know it can be done.
Right. Yeah. You know, that's just not,
you know what I'm talking about, Hak? Like, you know what I'm talking about.
That's just not his game. But every so often he goes, nah, give me the goddamn ball. Move.
No, but not even you don't have to shoot.
He did it in Boston. He did it in Boston early in the year when he got fouled. He was like, you know, he does it. He has it in him.
He can do it. Just don't want to do it all the time, right? And I still don't think it doesn't mean you have to shoot. You could be aggressive and pass the ball.
That's right.
Like, and he does that. You could just be in attack mode.
He does that. He goes to the rim.
You could be in attack mode.
He does that, and there's times when I definitely think he's like, fuck this, and I think that's a negative. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't.
And
like
again, I don't think it's a crime for us to sit here and say he's one of the top 3 players to ever play the game. Why is that? Like, why am I being a asshole, or I don't know what I'm talking about because I say he's one of the top 3 players to play the game? That's a fair statement. Is that inaccurate? Am I being a hater because I said he's one of the top 3 players to ever play the game?
Not at all. I think that's an accurate statement.
No, I think what we do with LeBron, though, like, is we're very critical of things that he does, and there's things that deserve critique. But we don't equally share that critique with other folks when they go through their shit.
Because he's the softest, greatest player ever.
Listen, I'll tell you in a second. Kobe had to live with that Game 7 no-show against Phoenix when he decided not to shoot in the second half. It's on his resume. It's there. People talk about it. And that's what he did wrong, right? That's the game that he was just a nut. Like, you like, damn, you had to live with. He had to live with that. He had to eat that. That's what happens when you do those things. But you also got to live with the fact that you are a no-show in the finals.
Even like a player like Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Durant for a long time was being touted as better than LeBron. Some people still think he's better than LeBron, right?
But he's soft.
But we've watched this guy, leave OKC, join a 73-win team.
Soft.
Right? Leave there, go to Brooklyn, now force his way out of a contract.
Soft.
Go to a team with Devin Booker and Chris Paul.
Soft.
And Ayton. Right. But I don't hear that steady conversation about Kevin Durant.
I think
everybody know Kevin Durant soft.
Everybody just knows he's soft. Like it's not when the cat got when the cat got a burner Instagram account or two Twitter accounts, you already know who the situation is.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been questioned that Kevin Durant is soft.
There's no doubt. I was all over Kevin Durant the same amount.
He is like I don't hear the rah. He just forced his way to go to Phoenix. I don't hear the what is going on.
No. I
don't see it I thought he was the.
Nah, we can't do that on this Phoenix thing. He didn't force anything on this one.
He didn't.
He didn't force this one. He didn't force this one.
He forced his way to Brooklyn. I mean, he got signed by Brooklyn.
Want to leave Brooklyn?
No, he actually. Remember, he's the only one that had re-upped in Brooklyn, and the ownership basically knew they had to make a move and get him out of there and do something.
They need a draft capital.
Well, yeah. What can they get for him? He didn't force his way out this time. So, and remember, Phoenix was the destination. They did him a favor because they actually sent him to the destination he wanted to go to this summer. They were nice where in the Kyrie situation, they were like, we're not sending you where you want to go.
Yeah, let's y'all take care of that Kyrie thing, let the smoke clear, and then a week later, we're gonna announce my deal in Phoenix. He wasn't staying in Brooklyn. B, come on, stop it, my brother. Like, come on. Like,
if that worked out with Kyrie, they both would still be in Brooklyn.
All I know is LeBron James plays out every contract, and people keep saying, he'd be jumping the team.
Because he forced the team to make other moves around him. That's why. It's a different approach.
Let me tell you this. When I want Hakim to be a Laker fan, when I gotta sit here and watch somebody good sit because his son gotta play.
Nah, that's not gonna happen.
When it happens, I just need to see your face.
Keep that
when it happens,
back.
Listen, Coach, let me ask you this question. The Elite 24, aren't those the top 24 players in the country that go play in the McDonald's All-American game?
I want y'all to be fair. Don't be fair. I'm not here to defend myself.
I'm asking Coach a question about the Elite 24 basketball.
Yes and no, because sometimes the Elite 24 can have kids who are reclass kids.
Yeah.
Who may not be eligible for the McDonald's game.
Okay, because I just need to know that, because when you're ranked 34 and the Elite 24 is in play and you're ranked number 34, I was just kind of trying to figure all that out. And you're the highlight or the showcase player.
And what people don't realize about the McDonald's game also is there are other components to being in that game, like grades, character. You know, there are certain things. And Bronny is not the lowest ranked player to ever play. Quinn Cook was actually ranked lower. One of the Plumlee brothers was ranked.
I didn't think he was ranked the lowest, but I just wanted to see.
But did he deserve, based on a couple other guards that are not there? Probably not.
I kind of thought so.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Yeah, I have a tough time with it, but I think he's going to have a phenomenal game because he's really good with other great players around him.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, you said exactly what I said, like, to a couple of friends. I was like, Bronny's the type of cat that will get with a good crew and look like he's as good as everybody on the crew because he knows how to play with talent.
Yeah,
he knows how to play with good talent. He can morph himself into that type of player because the talent is on the floor with him.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the MVP in this game. I would not be surprised because he's probably going to make some exciting, like, dunks or something, some great passes. He's going to set guys up. He's capable of doing things, highlight real things that everybody's going to be like, ooh, you know. He could steal the MVP in this kind of game because he plays so well with great talent.
So you got him. I got him going to Oregon too, with everybody else. The Nike.
I think Nike already solidified that a few months ago when they gave him that NIL deal.
And then he could play over there without UCLA and USC because they're leaving. No pressure. West Coast.
He can
run up and down. It ain't gonna be it's not like a lot of airtime. You get a couple of ESPN games, but it's a comfortable environment. Play that 1, maybe even 2 years out there, but long enough where he don't got to have the pressure of playing like at a Duke or a North Carolina or Michigan somewhere. And he don't want to be in the Big Ten because that's where they bruising over there. It's a style of basketball. The Pac-12. He can run up and down, really no defenders, a lot of finesse basketball, but no pressure because they're losing their 2 greatest teams or leaving the conference.
Yeah, no, I definitely think he's Pac-12 is the perfect conference for him. Oregon, the way they play play fast, it's exciting. He'll get his numbers. He'll look good.
Makes sense.
It's a good situation. If he goes to, let's say he goes to Ohio State, he basically is killing his career. Just because of the coaching, the conference,
and the style of play in the conference.
Yep.
It's possession by possession. It's not up and down.
He can't go to SEC. That's just like,
that's athletic basketball.
Yeah, that's damn near the G League. ACC, real smart, high IQ. I don't see him doing well there. It almost has to be Oregon.
That's what I said. The Pac-12 makes the most sense to me.
Yep.
For him. Yep.
So or he could do what's that? Big 12. He could probably do that. They just play real fast, get up and down.
Kansas State, Iowa State.
Yeah.
No, Iowa State, not Iowa. Iowa State.
That's a possibility, but it's some real bruisers in that conference too. So
I think it's the Pac-12.
Yeah. Oh no, he can't play in the Big East. That's
the Big East, nah. Not enough publicity in the Big East.
Yeah, and it's too tough. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's tough basketball.
That's real physical.
Guard tough.
In terms of the NBA, I could see the LeBron show in North Carolina.
In Charlotte?
Yeah, with Jordan.
No, I
Jordan
think
never take him.
It's all LA. It's all Lakers or bust.
No.
Jordan would never take him.
I don't think LeBron's gonna be in LA too much longer,
bro. I agree. I don't think LeBron's gonna be there when Bronny comes out. But I don't see Jordan. Jordan's tough, especially on guards.
Ticket sales, bro. Jordan ain't trying to go to playoffs. Ticket sales.
Jordan gonna get ticket sales in Charlotte no matter what.
Man, not like fucking the Bronny. I like LeBron James Bronny show. That's the conversation around that.
So
that's all that's about at the end of the day. That might happen for like a year and LeBron will retire. That ain't gonna be like he ain't gonna play no 3-4 years with. Nah, that's not happening.
You're telling me Jordan would bring LeBron to his team? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it.
You got LaMelo Ball.
Exactly.
LeVar Ball show.
Exactly. LaMelo Ball is a good ball player, exciting ball player.
Sure.
You know.
For sure. No doubt. I'm not trying to take anything away from
the guy who y'all are saying is better than me, I'm going to bring to my team. That don't even work with Jordan's psyche.
He got a point there. Jordan ain't doing that.
Nah, okay.
And if Jordan did do it, he might just sit him the whole time, just to be petty.
He would do that.
It's no way.
He would do that. Smoke a cigar too on the sideline, like Red Auerbach.
Yep. Tell the coach you better not put him in.
You put him in there, you fired.
I was hoping that he wouldn't be that petty and that he could be much bigger.
Put him in there, you fired.
Because you know what I thought was dope? I thought was real dope, the fact that Kareem was there to give him the ball, like pass the torch, because that's what Wilt did with Kareem.
Yeah. Kareem's a class act, man.
Kareem is nostalgic. Kareem gets it. Kareem understands.
Yeah.
You know, I just wish that young people would understand who Kareem was versus just saying who he's not. Amen. You know, cats should just stop.
We got to show people. Like, people have to be shown. We can't.
They don't care because they see shorts in the butt crack and they think that they were too tight. They see white guys on the court, so they can't play. You know, so again, it's just
I seen some touched up footage of Wilt Chamberlain when he first got into the league, and he looked like Giannis. He was running the floor.
Like
Giannis.
Yeah. That's what I try to tell people is access has really made the game evolve, right? These guys have more access to things that these others. These guys were stud athletes too. They weren't just some guys that were stiffs that wore tight shorts. They were studs. They didn't have the access.
The thing that people got to understand about Wilt is that, you know, this is the 50s and the 60s where racism is still at a very high level.
Yeah.
So the narrative around black players were that we were like animals in the jungle. You know, dunking was something that was looked down upon.
Right.
Yep.
Wilt developed a mid-range game. He purposely shot, like, plenty of times you see him at the rim and you're like, why is he just dunk it? He just finger rolls it in. He just, like, he had to transform his game to not to fit a stereotype. He just couldn't be Shaquille O'Neal. He couldn't
be himself. He had to level the playing field for them so they could compete with him. He had to dumb down his game.
You know,
but that's what young people don't understand. Like, nobody's asking anyone in the NBA to dumb down their game right now.
That's right.
It's positionless basketball now, right? Yeah. Guys are told to go to the block and stay down there because you're a big man. Big men can bring the ball up the court. Big men can control the ball. Big men are running the offense.
Yeah, and Wilt was more than capable of doing all that.
But so was Kareem.
Yeah.
Now wait till this boy Mama come in the goddamn league.
But fellas, I gotta check out because I gotta go get my little person. I told her I'd pick up at 8:00, so I gotta sign off at 8, so it's 8 o'clock, and I hear my
it's 8 o'clock.
9 o'clock for you. Yeah.
Well, we in 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
I think we good. Episode 97. Next week, Cliff will be back. And,
3 left.
And hey, I want y'all to keep watching Luka and Kyrie as they get some chemistry going.
We didn't talk about Luka and Kyrie, man.
That's gonna be something.
Yeah, until he go to LA.
Luka.
Yeah, we know that.
Luka go to LA.
Luka go to LA. You can't. Everybody keep thinking it's gonna be Kyrie. Luka ain't re-signed yet either.
No, he hasn't.
Oh.
And Luka like the lights too. Trust me.
Oh.
Luka.
All right, that's something to talk about. All right, next week, episode 98. We out of here.
All right, peace,
peace, y'all. Peace, JT.